Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. Ooh, ooh-wee. Oh, ho, ho, ho. Boy, oh boy. People. Look, man, forget about Deontay Wilder. Forget about Devin Haney. Forget about Caleb Plant. Forget about Clarissa Shields. Forget about Spence Crawford. Forget about Boots Ennis. Forget about what the hell Tyson Fury's doing with Chisora. Forget about everything that's going on in boxing right now except for this Connor Benn, Eubank Jr., Eubank Sr., Nigel Benn fiasco. Let me tell you. So, right now, Eubank Sr. is claiming he knows who's responsible for that positive test of clomifene found in Connor Benn's system. He won't say who it is, but it's my understanding, according to Eubank Sr., that he knows exactly who did it, and there's an investigation underway. Okay? Now, I'm going to get into some things here, but let's just kind of cover a few things real briefly, right? For those of you who aren't up to speed, I guess you've been living underneath a damn rock. If you aren't up to speed, exactly kind of what happened and how we reached the point we've reached, right? So we know that, unfortunately, the fight, Eubank Jr., Connor Benn, postponed from the London O2 Arena. Connor Benn denies any wrongdoing. Could face a 4-year ban. Okay? That would suck if found guilty. Okay? Now, the drug he was using, a lot of us know already. Treat infertility in women, has no application to men. No way in the world it should be in this system. But the same drug boosts testosterone in men 50 to 200%. In addition, the same drug is used to mask stronger peds that a lot of athletes use to give them a competitive advantage in sports. Okay? But Eubank Sr. is going on to say, when Nigel Benn finds out, Nigel Benn is Connor Benn's dad, when he finds out who tricked him and has slurred his son, right? When he finds out who they are, I don't want that man coming after me. But you don't need to worry about me. And this is Eubank Sr. talking to who he says he knows. He has a good idea. He's talking to that person. He's telling that person, you don't need to worry about me. You need to worry about Nigel Benn. God have mercy upon them. Because we know Nigel Benn, although he's a little bit older now, he's still temperamental. When he finds out who's perpetrated his son, it's going to be a problem. Now, this is something else that he said. And this blew my mind, right? There's an investigation now happening, okay, with this whole thing with Connor Benn. Because no one wants to believe this boy cheated, okay? No one. So there's an investigation now happening with those who perpetrated, right? What they perpetrated will be brought to the light. So there's an investigation on those who perpetrated and what they perpetrated. An investigation to bring that to light. Man, let me tell you, that is very interesting. Because I can't wait until the dust settles. Okay? Now, Nigel Benn is saying his son is a clean fighter. I mean, he's saying there's just no way in the world that his son could cheat. Now, I say he's supposed to feel that way. Okay? He's supposed to feel that way. He goes on to say how he guarantees that there's no way in the world his son could do it. And if he ever thought his son took a performance-enhancing drug, he would hang him out to dry. I know my son, I'd be the first person to throw him under the bus. I say, son, I love you, but you're not doing it around me. And he's saying he knows 100%. He watched his son cry in his arms, but you know what it is. So obviously Connor Benn has been really emotional over this because he's going through, it's an emotional roller coaster because obviously he's saying, hey, I didn't do this. And when you're a father, you're there with your son, and they're telling you something, you know you want to believe them. So I don't fault Nigel Benn for believing him, but he's saying he feels his son will get vindicated, and he prays the apologies as loud as the conviction, and how everyone has found him guilty and has said a lot of horrible things about his son. Now, this is the thing, right? This is the thing. This is the thing that y'all need to understand. Okay? Eddie Hearn, I feel Eddie Hearn is the person. The evidence is pointing to Eddie Hearn. Check this out, right? Eddie Hearn lied so much, man. The worst thing Eddie Hearn did was get in front of the camera. You remember Eddie Hearn was saying they found it a couple weeks ago, before the fight, right? First, he said a couple weeks ago. Then he said a month ago, right? Then he was like, yeah, a few weeks ago, and Connor Benn and Eubank Jr. had a conversation, right? Come to find out, he's like, oh, it's wordplay. They talked when it first came out, but no, they didn't talk the day of the announcement when Daily Mail broke the news. All over the place. But check this out. Nigel Benn, he said they found out 3 months ago. Man, what is going on? So you mean to tell me Eddie Hearn is saying it was a couple weeks ago before, because during fight week, that's when that shit was announced, right? Eddie Hearn said, oh, he found out, he heard something a couple weeks ago. Then he said it was a month ago. Nigel Benn says shit was 3 months ago. So Eddie Hearn was aware of this 3 months ago? It's 90 days, man. And he wasn't saying anything. He's there playing stupid. And supposedly, just there was a minuscule amount, traces of this clomifene found in the system or whatever. But even for Nigel Benn, I gotta say, ooh-wee. Even it's in your son's system, man. Y'all had to sort that out. So 90 days, what were you hoping that maybe when UCAD comes and tests him, nothing would show up there? And obviously it didn't. So that, plenty shit starts to stink. And something stinks. So Eubank Sr. is there, and he really is supporting Connor Benn. He just doesn't feel that Connor Benn would cheat. He said he's looking at him. I guess Eubank Sr. is a guy who's all about energy, like Deontay Wilder. You know what I'm saying? I'm all about the energy, all right? Well, Eubank Sr., hopefully, maybe someone farted around him, and, maybe he's picking up on that kind of energy because something stinks. And I don't know if it's Connor Benn. I don't know if it's Dad. I personally think it's Eddie Hearn. Now, on to Eddie Hearn, right? For those of you who are saying, man, why the hell are you saying Eddie Hearn? This is clickbait. You put Eddie Hearn in here. Oh, all evidence points to Eddie Hearn. So let's understand something. Come on. Don't take it to the stupid army. Let's understand something. Hold your horses. Eubank Sr. This is a fact I'm about to give y'all. Eubank Sr. used to be promoted by Metro. Eddie Hearn's dad promoted Eubank Sr. and all those Nigel Benn rivalries, right? So check it out. This is how things come full circle. Fast forward all them years, you got Eubank Jr. Eubank Sr. had no issue with Eubank Jr. signing to Metro. But there was some little to do over a picture on the wall in the Matchroom office where Eubank Sr. didn't want that picture up on the wall. And he's like, hey, Y'all take that down, and you can sign Junior. And Eddie Hearn said that it was a beautiful picture that was up there. I think in that picture, Eubank Sr. was on the bad end of the stick in some fight, right? And Eddie Hearn says it's a beautiful picture. His dad loved the picture. And, hey, they're not taking it down. As a result, Eubank Jr. didn't sign with Eddie Hearn. I think that's kind of soured the relationship, amongst some other things. But I'm not too sure about those, so I'm not going to delve into it. But I'm going to tell you right now, this is what I know for a fact, right? So Eubank Jr. didn't sign. Eddie Hearn was sour and has been sour about that for quite some time. Now, there's some other things that have gone on back and forth between Eddie Hearn and Eubank Sr. And I even think Barry Hearn may have had some dislike or disdain or frustration that developed over the years towards Eubank Sr. So now, when you think of that, right, and whatever other rumblings have transpired, now you have Eddie Hearn. Now look, he had Saunders over there test positive. Eddie Hearn figured out a way. UCAT doesn't recognize anything. You can come and fight. So Eddie Hearn supported Saunders, and the fight happened. This thing with clomifene, with Connor Benn. I honestly think, and I'm just trying to take a look at what Eubank Sr. is saying. Since this clomifene thing is coming up, and it was happened 90 days ago, and Eddie Hearn keeps lying about it. He keeps lying. Eddie Hearn just can't. His story keeps changing. Let me tell you something, man. When your story keeps changing, that means your ass is lying. That's why they say, shut up. I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I didn't taste nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't smell nothing. I don't know nothing. That's what they tell you. You ever see them? You ever watch that shit, First 48, where they got them criminals, man? All the evidence points to them that they did a drive-by on a house with a damn sawed-off shotgun, shot into a window of a bedroom and tore a baby's face off, right? Horrible crime. All the little people in the community say, hey, it was this guy. Cops get that man into the damn interrogation office. Everybody's saying he did it, but they don't have no proof. They start drilling him with questions. Facts, hard stuff. He immediately goes on and says, I don't know nothing. I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing. I didn't smell nothing. I didn't taste nothing. That man he immediately turned stupid. And the cops, no matter how much pressure they put on him, they don't admit to anything. All they say is, I don't know, I didn't see, I didn't smell, I didn't taste, I don't know. They turn stupid. And you know what happens? Because they didn't get him to put himself in the place of the crime, to get him to say he's familiar with what happened or anything, you can't do nothing. There's no evidence. You gotta let him go. And those detectives go crazy because they know he's guilty. They just can't, the way the law is, they can't do anything. But when you have someone like Eddie Hearn, he doesn't know how to shut up. Now, I don't know what the deal is, but I do think that when they peel this back, they're gonna unearth some shocking evidence, and I'm gonna go ahead and say maybe Eddie Hearn had something to do with this. Maybe they're trying to sabotage Eubank Jr. to get at his dad. The next thing is this. Just like Eubank Sr. is supporting Connor Benn and supporting Nigel is supporting Eubank Jr. and Eubank Sr. saying he's glad the fight didn't happen. Now, they're saying that, God intervened and God stopped the fight. And it was the spirits and, the heebie-jeebies and all this stuff happened. And as a result, the prayers were answered fight was called off. But I'm going to go ahead and say the big man upstairs didn't have nothing to do with it. The spirits didn't have nothing to do with it. The damn heebie-jeebies didn't have nothing to do with it. A failed pen test that got shotgun blasted to the public had everything to do with the fight not happening. Okay? Now, if you want to tie in, you know, the spiritual piece to it or whatever, I mean, that's on you. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying for me, the reason that fight didn't happen because of a failed pen test. And the reason that fight was almost going forward because Eddie Hearn almost kept all of this in-house since 3 months ago. But there was a whistleblower. Word got to Eubank. I don't care what Eubank Sr. says. Word got back to him. That's why that man was pushing so hard to boycott the fight. Yo, okay, look at it. 90 days ago, you're telling me that not one person's going to say anything? Man, come on. That shit had got out. Got out to somebody. Ain't no way in the world you can contain something like that for 90 days. I don't care. Not that. When people know. Oh, so before I get to that, right? Nigel Benn saw that picture of Eubank Jr. at 159 pounds or whatever, and he said Eubank Jr.'s face was gone. This is what Nigel Benn said. He said he saw that picture and he saw that Eubank Jr.'s face was basically gone. There's no fat on him. There's nothing on him. I told y'all that. At 160, there's nothing there. How the hell is he going to get down to 157? He said he saw that. And again, he said the thing all about the God and the spirits fight not happening. And he said there's no way in the world he'll let that fight happen between Eubank Jr. and his son unless it's at 160. He was like, he's glad it didn't happen because he felt Eubank Jr. would have got hurt. Now remember, Nigel Benn's got his own demons. Y'all see, what's his name, McClellan? McClellan got messed up. Eubank Sr. messed up a boxer in the ring. Both of these guys, they have PTSD from that. Okay? Now, years ago, there were rumors that Nigel Benn was juicing. Okay? A lot of people say he was juicing. And some people say that's the reason why he retired. I don't know. I'm just telling you this is what the rumor is out there. Okay? Somebody say, oh, the fruit doesn't fall far from the tree. Talking about Connor Benn and his dad. I don't know about that. But what I do know is, I believe what Nigel Benn's saying about Eddie Hearn knowing about that shit 3 months ago. And the fact that it came out that, days before the fight tells you that it doesn't matter if you like Eddie Hearn, if you think I'm crazy, you think everyone else who's talking about this is crazy because we have lost respect for Eddie Hearn. You tell me, how do you make it make sense to me then? In the comments. You make it make sense to me. How Eddie Hearn knew 3 months ago about this young man having this stuff in his system that was going to give him an advantage, right? In all areas. And the shit didn't get out until a couple days before the fight because of the whistleblower. And I think it was Eubank Sr. How is that okay? Crazy. And to see, and to know that Eubank Jr. is going to kill himself to get to 157. Now, he agreed to it, okay? I get it. He agreed to it. There's no argument there. But you knowing what you're doing over on this side, I really feel Eddie Hearn had a hand in that. Then the other rumor is, well, there ain't no rumor about Eddie Hearn. I believe Eddie Hearn he's involved. He knew about the 90 days. He didn't want nothing to get out. There's a reason for that. Okay, financial reasons. Okay, whatever. Involved in the bullshit. Okay, that's what I think. Somebody's saying Kinahan is involved. Somebody's saying Kinahan got Eddie Hearn by the stones. Okay, now I don't know about that. That's just, these fools throwing stuff out. But at this point, I don't know what to think. But we're going to see what the outcome is because this is just dangerous. Dangerous. In my opinion, Connor Benn and Eubank Jr. shouldn't fight. The whole thing, just leave it alone. Walk away from it. Connor Benn, go out there, figure out whatever you need to do to vindicate yourself, breathe life back into your career. You're a clean guy. But I'm trying to think, was there ever a situation where a manager, promoter tried to sabotage, tried to sabotage their own fighter by violating certain rules to give them an advantage, and then end up getting caught and trying to weasel their way out of it? Now, we can't talk about Louis Resto, because no matter what Louis Resto says, he knew Panama was giving him that stuff in the black bottle. It's supposed to be something you take for asthma. You take it, it opens up your lungs, give you a second breath of fresh air, right? Because Aaron Pryor was taking that shit too, if you watch the video. He's like, no, that better, the black buckle. Because they had that shit in there, okay? And then also the stuff, taking the padding out the gloves. Louis Resto knew he was guilty. But with Connor Benn, I don't know, okay? So they need to figure this out. They really do. So right now, Eddie Hearn, he's going quiet, man. But there's a serious investigation, ongoing investigation, and I can't wait to find out, who's at fault here. If it's Connor Benn, if his dad's involved, if it's Eddie Hearn, if it's Matchroom, if it's someone else, if it's Kinahan. I mean, what exactly, what are the facts? Okay, because this we need to sort this out. Some people are saying, and that's why Eubank Jr. keeps saying they were trying to kill my son. Maybe they just wanted him to get a good beating, and end result could have been him dying. Because Eddie Hearn, when he talked about the weight, I've said this on a couple of different platforms. I'm going to say it right now. I think you've heard me say it before. When it comes to the weight, right? Connor Benn, he did not come up in weight. Stop saying that. Oh, it was an evenly matched fight because Eubank Jr. was coming down. Connor Benn was coming up. Connor Benn wasn't coming up, man. Connor Benn, he gets down to 147 here. He's up here at like 168, 170 walking around. So what he does, he comes down to 157 on his way to 147, right? He's not coming from 135 up to 147 or 147 up to 157. No. He comes down, hits 157, passes that, and gets down to 147. So essentially this time he just came down and got to 157, and he didn't have to go any further. Okay? So let's not act like he's at 147 coming up. No, he's coming down. So he wasn't at no disadvantage like, oh, he's fighting at a weight he's never fought at. No, he's at a weight where he's probably more comfortable and not miserable because he didn't have to melt himself all the way down to have that moment in time weigh-in just to balloon back up to 157, 160, all right? So stop it. But that being said, I think I'm going to leave it as that, man. Because, man, this is just getting... I mean, you got both the fathers on the same accord. I never thought I'd see Eubank Sr. and Connor and Nigel Benn on the same accord about this. And I'm going to tell you, I think there's someone there with some loyalty, with some integrity towards Eubank Sr. And that's why he's sitting there cool as a fan, like, and defending Connor Benn. Because I think he has been told something, or that he's seen something, or that in some way he's been convinced by a preponderance of evidence that they really wanted to sabotage his son and kill his son, and Connor Benn was going to be the vehicle used to get it done by giving him an advantage and having Eubank Sr., Eubank Jr. come down to a weight that really wasn't healthy or really realistic for him to get in that fight and perform to his potential. But that being said, y'all keep cool. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Please like, subscribe, leave your comments below. But all evidence right now, they're not saying anything. It's pointing over there to me, to that whole Eddie Hearn's world. Matchroom, Eddie Hearn, maybe his associates. But I'm going to go ahead and just say Eddie Hearn. It's something attached to Eddie Hearn. And man, I hope it comes out. I don't wish bad on Eddie Hearn. He's catching his ass over there anyway. I've been saying that. But I told y'all, I've been telling y'all for months, something going on with Eddie Hearn. That's why he's doing things he's doing and making fights he's making. He's in the red at the zone. Eddie Hearn has to get grand slams. I've been saying this for a while. But nobody, some people think, man, there's a hood champion just out here throwing. No, man, I'm telling you, pay attention. Goddamn, it's optics. Just look. His movements are different. His energy is different. He's agitated with the cameras in front of him. Eddie Hearn's never been got that cussing carry on at the camera. He had a couple of years of just laughing, joking, being jovial. Hey, don't hate the player, hate the game. All those things he was saying. He's not talking like that now. That man is stressing. Shit's about to hit the fan. And I want to see where that shit is going to splatter when it hits that fan. And matter of fact, I wouldn't even mind being in that room no matter how stink it gets. I want to be part of that. I want to know what's going on. But y'all keep cool. Shout out to all the veterans, people across all 7 continents. Appreciate the support. And as always, I'm in the breeze.